Hi guys, Miss Vega here. Today we're studying the oceans, and oceans are part of the water cycle, and these oceans are very important. But we're going to study uh, the coral reef, specific parts of the oceans. The- So I'm going to show you how to make the soft corals and sort of the sea anemone kind of um, um, sea life. So what we're gonna do is start by telling you the materials that we're gonna need. I'm using some, this is not tempera paint. This is cheap Crayola tempera paint. The reason we're using this is because the coral reef is very colorful. So what we're doing is just making it very colorful using the warm and the cool colors too. To start with, to make the flowers, the little flower looking anemones, we're gonna use like toilet paper cartons. And to make it smaller, what you do is just get a scissor, a pair of scissors, and you cut all the little um, petals, sort of petals, and then we're gonna cut it in half because I wanna make it smaller. Our paper is kind of small, so we're gonna do it like that. Gonna cut it in half. And then I'm gonna make small florets like this. Okay, so in order to keep it in this shape, we are going to curve it around and hold it with a tape. So let me, so you close it. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as they're tied together and they open when you are. And you can do this with the help of your parents. For my little kindergarten, it doesn't have to be perfect in this side. It helps sometimes, but has to be even. And when we do, we press in to open it. And if it's not even, if you cut it unevenly, you put another tape, and this tape has to be even, sort of to make it sure that the petals don't expand more than this part here. Okay, you have to make another one. I already made a couple of them to make in different colors. And you press down. This is to create a light texture. And we're gonna fill the background, and to make the coral reef we're gonna do sea anemones in one side. Look at this beautiful picture. It has all the animals that live in the coral reef. Well, not all the animals actually. The coral reef is one of the most diverse kind of places in the whole planet where you can find different kinds of animals living in there. So for this purpose we're gonna do a few of them. Okay, so it's gonna span like this. I'm gonna start with the blue background. I'm gonna start building with the blue. I use this one that I already have, and I'm gonna make impressions like this. This is called a print. You dip in the color and you make a print, which is an impression of what you have here. And you subtle, you can just fill it up like that and twist it around. And actually we need to let it dry after we do this, but I'm gonna try not to mess it up too much. Because if it gets too thick, then it takes too long to dry. Okay. Now I can do some yellow ones on the other side. Okay. I'll squish it in there. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave it like that because I'm gonna use the sponges to create different textures on the bottom too. And I'm gonna use the color that I have here. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of the yellow. And I'm gonna create a different texture on the bottom. And you can rotate your. We're building the ocean floor, which is not just sand, sometimes it has rocks. And later on, you're gonna add the animals that live there in that space. Animals that call it the habitat is going to be there. And it doesn't matter if you have more yellow than red. We're gonna make the coral reef a very, very colorful place. And that's why we're using these brilliance and bright colors. Okay, now we're gonna add also, I think I need some more of this. And I'm gonna show you how to do more textures. You making more prints, more impressions with maybe different found objects. I have like a cap of a marker and I can put it in the paint and I can make some of the round textures that you can see in some of the rocks. And remember when we did, you need to dip and print to create those textures. Okay, and now we're gonna do maybe a little bit of the seaweed and some of the corals that you can see that look like little hands. This is called the staghorn coral, and this is the fan coral because it looks like a little fan open. So we're gonna do the green for that. If you can add more, you can add more of this because our last, let me add a little bit more here. Our last step is going to be the fish. We're gonna add the fish to just wander around the ocean floor, the coral reef. And we need a little bit of green paint. For this seaweed, you're gonna need a thin brush. If you don't have a thin brush, you can use a marker. It's just to draw the lines because the seaweed just sway and they can. Oops. Let's load the brush because when the brush is not loaded, it just leaves some spaces like this. Okay. And they're coming from here. Right now it's wet, so we don't want to mix it because you know what's going to happen. It's going to change the color, which is okay. But we can make some of them. If this would have been dry, you can put lines over and paint over it. I'm going to try to keep it like that. I'm going to show you in a minute one that I did before that is already dry. It looks a little bit different, but you have the freedom just to print and to go like that and to add you see the florets here, they have different kinds of centers and different kinds of colors in there. If we get it like a darker blue, we can put like little things inside, like little circles. And this is a straw. You can do that with a straw, you can do that with a brush. And you create your own designs, right? You look at the plants and you say, what can I use to make this look like that? And use your imagination. Okay. Now, for the fish that we're gonna add, you can keep adding details. This is a project that's gonna last a long time, so you're not gonna do it in 5 minutes. Okay, first you have to let it dry. Then you're gonna add the fish that are gonna go there. I did some fish already. I cut out like tissue paper. I also, if you don't have tissue paper, you cut like shapes of fish from a magazine or something. And this is the way I did it. I stack all my tissue paper together. We're gonna start by drawing like a triangular shape on the back. And then you're gonna go in an oval, because I didn't draw it, okay? I just cut it. An oval shape. And that's how you are done. And then you have many. And the way we do it, we glue them on the paper and try to use different colors to make it like a color, like a, and you decide where you're gonna put yours. I'm gonna put this one here. Actually, this is blue on blue. I like to do it in contrast. Oh, it has a little dot. This is tissue paper, so it's gonna stick really fast. And this is a magazine. Like if you don't have it, I took it from a newspaper. I did the same shape and I put it in there. And you make your collage. Your collage is cutting and pasting and putting things together. Okay. You can add like different purples and other colors to the coral reef. You keep adding things. And the more you learn and the more you research, you can keep adding to your collage and make it really rich. Actually, the coral reef is one of the most different kinds of life living in that place. So they're very rich. And once it's dry, you can use a touch of color for your background. And let me show you one that I did before. And this one is, well, it's not as big, but it has a more variety of stuff. I just went crazy adding things, and these are the little fish going around. I put some of the corals coming out. You can draw your starfish if you can do that. You can draw a starfish. I started working on one here. See that one? So you can have the things. When in our class when we were doing ocean floors, we started the ocean floor, and we did this one. I don't know if some of you may remember when we started, it wasn't finished, so I just finished today. I added my background. This is a lot of sea life that you can find in the ocean floor, even though you don't find them like this, like a family, but for this purpose, we put them all together. Okay, so have fun finding animals that live in the coral reef and keep adding cut out of things, or just make them up. Okay, just like I did. Have fun, and I'll see you soon.